Here is a list of things that you must do to get your work noticed and to get the growth that you absolutely deserve. Number one on the list is track your efforts for maximum growth. If you're working tirelessly and nobody knows that you're working that much, then I'm sorry to say you're not going to get anything out of it, even if you're working like 14 hours a day in your job. So what's the solution? From the day one, track your efforts, or from the day when you see this video, start tracking your efforts. And how you do that? Create a shared Excel. You have to create an Excel sheet which has the date, has the task, and the resource as in who is the person doing that task. So create that Excel sheet. You can fill in the details from the very day when you start making that tracker, or if you remember the past week details, you can include them as well. Assign the date and put in your name. And then if you remember anybody else's task, as in your team member's task, like 1 or 2, you do not have to detail down those tasks. Just 1 or 2 would be enough to trigger them, and then put those tasks and then put the name of your team member, and then share this Excel tracker to everybody in your team, including your manager. It should be located at some shared access where everybody can access it in real time, including your manager. Now what this will do is it will trigger everybody to respond as in your teammates will start putting their own tasks in there with the date and their name, and your manager will have a clear visibility on who's doing how much and which task is done by actually whom. Sometimes people just delegate their, or I should say dump their work on other team members, and the manager never gets to know that who did that task. So in this manner, you can actually let the manager know that you did that task. And even if your teammates do not show much enthusiasm in filling that tracker, not to worry. Keep tracking your efforts, because at the end of the day, it will pay you off. Your manager would know that you have put in the maximum effort, or which work is done by whom. Because before that, nobody knew that what you were working on and how much hours you are putting in. So now at least you have that record where your manager clearly sees who's doing the max work, and at your appraisal discussions, you'll have a lot of data to show to prove your work, that you'll be able to negotiate your hike well in that discussion. So keep tracking even the tiniest of the tasks that you do. Even for the tasks that you feel that this is not big enough to be tracked, please track every single task that you do, no matter how big or small it is. Track it, because those small pieces of work also take away so much of time, so that you can justify your time consumption on the project, and you must have record of every tiny activity that you do. Second point on the list is have the minimal percentage of back-burning tasks in your bucket. See, you cannot totally avoid back-burning tasks. So the ideal situation is that you should be mindful of the percentage of back-burning tasks that you take in your bucket that you accept. Now, for people who do not know what back-burning tasks are, these are the activities which make little to no difference in the front scenario of progress of a project. Not very visible. I mean, even if you spend your entire day doing these tasks, nobody will know that what are you up to, what are you doing. People will think that you're simply trying to kill your time and you do not have enough work. Now, everyone gets some of these tasks in the team, but make sure that if you see your manager or your team lead is kind of trying to dump majority of the back burning tasks in your bucket, then please say no then and there on their face itself. Because if you say yes, one, you will end up spending your time on doing stuff which is not progressive. 2, nobody will know what you are up to. Your manager will think you are not even doing the actual contribution to the project. So here and there, little bit is fine, but your majority of the bracket, 80+% of your bucket should be filled with good visible tasks. Next thing that you must do is have a record of every tiny appreciation that you get in writing, preferably over email. Now, these appreciations will help you negotiate a better CTC in your yearly appraisal discussions. Plus, these appraisals will also help you grab right opportunities at the right time. Say you have been appreciated by your client over and over again, and your manager is also super happy about it, but all this conversation is quite verbal up till now, and you also speak to your manager seems to be very happy about it, and due to that appreciation, continuous appreciation, he promised you a client side, like a travel on the client side, maybe abroad or somewhere good where you are willing to go, you are excited to go, you are excited to visit the client side. Let's say that manager leaves the company all of a sudden, or maybe the project gets changed. Then in such a scenario, everything that has been promised to you, all the appreciations that have come by up till then, all of that will end up in smoke because nobody will believe you. You will not have anything to show to anyone. Maybe you want to prove it to the senior manager or the management that these things happened and you have been promised a client side travel and you're looking forward to that and you have been working towards that from last 6 months. You will not be able to prove all those things if you do not keep those appreciation, those promises in writing. So it's very important that whenever any appreciation happens, even if the person is giving it to you verbally, you can always request, no matter who that person is, your manager, your client, somebody else, you can always request them politely that it would be really great if you could send me the same in writing because it will help me build my credibility at work and I need to have a record of all of this. Nobody, believe me, nobody says no to such requests, and if they're happy with your work, they will definitely send the appreciation in email. It's just that you have to take that effort and ask the person. Now the next thing that you must do is record all the help that you are doing, which means that if you're helping other people, other colleagues, peers in their work, then you must record all of those tasks somewhere. Your manager must know that you're putting all those hours in that help, even if that help is for a dear friend of yours, even if that help is for someone whom you really respect and you do not want to make it a transactional thing, but you will have to. That is for your own good, and tracking that help doesn't harm the person who is taking it. So do not feel guilty about tracking that work because your manager sees everything in terms of number of hours that you're putting in organizational work. And this is indeed an organizational work because you're not helping your friend in his or her personal matter. You are helping them in office work only. So it must be recorded. It will help your manager to know that where your time is spent and why it is spent. So the manager will set the expectations right, and this is something which is bound to come. I mean, even if the person is not your friend, you're supposed to help others in your organization, in your team, and that work also takes a lot of time. So do not shy away from tracking that work. That data will also add so much weightage in your profile. Now the next point on the list is offer to be a volunteer whenever possible. Now being volunteer can be for any help that your manager need or any other team that they need or maybe management need. Obviously you'll not have time like every single time they ask for any volunteer. Whenever possible, try to do it. It has two main benefits. I'm sure there are many more. Number one, your manager will know that because you are helping him and you're occupied doing that work, at least that extra work is tagged to your name in his mind, so he'll not bug you with extra work. If at all there is any, he will assign it to somebody else, and you also get the visibility associated with it. And second benefit is that you will get little more insights about what is yet to come. Many times when something new is happening in the company, or maybe some new project is coming or something else, people from management or maybe your manager try to take help from employees to put things together for that new thing. Basically, more helping hands are required. So if you are doing that work, you'll get to know what is new, what the company is expecting, or what new the company is doing, what kind of new clients are being signed, or maybe what new technology company is trying to get into. So these little insights will give you a sense of direction with which you can align yourself. If it is a new technology that is coming in, and if you are interested in working that, then you can pitch yourself well in time before it gets assigned to somebody else. So there you get a great opportunity. So likewise, this is just one example. Likewise, there can be many other things that you get insight to. Now you can also get insight to some things which are not going well within the company, and then you can decide your move accordingly. So basically, that's the benefit it has, that you'll be able to view things which other people are not able to view yet. Now the next thing on the list that you must do is that you must speak about your growth and your expectations around your growth. Now if you are waiting for your manager to see how hard you're working and to realize that how much contribution you have made to the team and then to give you the promotion accordingly, then my friend, think again, because that manager is never going to see anything unless you make any noise. In his head, you are just working fine, you are satisfied where currently you are. So there is zero possibility that the manager will give the promotion to you by default. People who make noise about it, get it first. Remember that. As a HR, I'm confirming this to you. I'm repeating it. People who make noise about it, get it first in comparison to the people who sit in silos. So Directly or indirectly, try to speak to your manager about your expectations and make sure that your manager has a hint that you're expecting an appraisal, a promotion in the appraisal this year. Because if you do not give that hint, the chances are nil. Next thing on the list is knowing that taking help is okay. Delegating the work is okay. Most of the times I have seen that people who really work hard, they take everything on their plate. Even if they are allowed to delegate, even if they have help readily available, as in people who could help them, they do not take much help. They feel as if they have to complete that work by themselves. Only then their efforts will be recognized. Guys, it is not so. Especially in corporates, it's not so. Corporates are designed for teamwork, and management or everybody just knows by default that no one person can take the company ahead. It's a teamwork. So do the smart work. If you see there is more than enough in your plate, then either delegate or ask for help. Because if you try to finish all that work by yourself, then it's bound to happen that the quality of that work will suffer for sure. And then people will have funny assumptions around your potential. So do not let that happen. Ask for help or delegate. This will help you in two ways. Either you will get more people to finish that work, or you'll get more time to finish that work. Your manager might say that, look, we do not have more people to assign for the same task, so I'm giving you 1 more week or 2 more week to finish this task. So you take your time and finish that task. So that is so much better than keeping quiet and grinding, hustling in silo and not letting anybody know how much you're suffering because of that work. That kind of work, those kind of efforts are not worth it, because it will eventually impact your health in a negative way and you will not get anything out of it. So guys, those are a few things that will make your work the smart work along with the hard work, because a combination of these two will take you towards the success and the growth that you absolutely deserve. So that was it. I really hope you found some value in today's conversation. With that, I'm signing off. You keep on watching more content on the Corporate Diaries to be corporate ready, and I will see you in my next one. Until then, stay safe and healthy. Take care. Bye.